Hey my friends, hey, how's it going? This is video number 22 in my journey to the Old World. Thanks my friends, thanks for coming back and thanks for joining me. Hold on for a second. First I want to give a special thank you to Hellstrom Gaming, Wargaming. Hey my friend, thank you so much for reviewing my video. Dude, that blew up my numbers. Big time. I basically got double the views I normally get in my Warhammer videos, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for all your subscribers who came because of that video, and thanks for coming back. So today, we're going to be working on our Night Goblins. Got a game tomorrow at WizKids. So tomorrow will be my third game. Sorry, my friends, my glasses were all dirty. I got those old man eyes. Man, I got to be able to see. Hold on, I still got like another smudge. So, what we're going to focus on is switching some guys to some bases. I got to finish gluing together the squid hoppers. I'm not really worried about priming or painting or priming anything right now. It's mostly about getting them on the bases and getting my list ready to go, okay? So, it's not going to be that hard. Basically, my 1,000 points, it's going to go pretty fast, okay? So my 750 point game, I had 3 characters, and only one of them had the full gear, you know, so I'm going to have 2 shamans, a level 2, a level 1. I'm going to have a war boss and a big boss, okay? And I'll be bringing 2 units of bowmen. I'll be bringing a unit of spearmen. And then I'm kind of undecided on what I'm going to be for my other option, okay? I'm bringing more fanatics. All right. So in my last game, my fine cast squid hoppers broke, okay? But they had that little funky pole. So I'm going to cut them, pin them, redo them. So eventually I'll have like 20. By the time I'm done, I'll have like 20 squid hoppers, and that should be more than enough. I have a couple of metal ones. I have some fine cast, and then I got these cool Age of Sigmar ones. Okay. Alright, let's get busy, friends. So, Old World, okay. OldWorldBuilder.com, my friend. That's a great program. So currently, I'm at 767 points, okay? So like I said before, I got my general, who's already killed the Bretonnian. So tomorrow, my best friend Jessie is going to bring me a Bretonnian helmet, an extra bit she has. And so what I'm going to do is put another spike on this guy and then put that helmet on there. So I'll have like 3 trophies. It'll be pretty neat. So I'm looking forward to our game. So I'm going to have a total of 4 characters. And now, for my third, basically I'm only adding like an extra unit, and I'm beefing stuff up. You know, the extra 250 points is going to go by really quick, okay? So, the fanatics are 25 points each. So now I added 1 fanatic to each unit of bowmen, okay? And the squid hoppers are in units of 5. They're throwaway units. That unit of 5 is basically, God, they're pretty cheap. 66 points, my friend. And they're pretty devastating when the attacks get through. It's a great way to stop the knights in their track and hold them up for a second while I get ready for the charge. Okay, now, I was talking to my best friend Jessie this morning, and she kind of gave me the rundown on her 1,000 point list. And man, I got to deal with 3 units of cavalry, my friends. You know, the yeomen, the knights, and the grail knights. Thankfully, it's only 3 grail knights, but those guys are super tough. It's going to be a challenge, a fun challenge. Now, twice already against the Bretonnians, the games I should have won, okay? But basically, I didn't win because of the combat resolution thing, you know, so that's okay. So we're going to do this. We're going to get this going now. But the best part about it is that I've had fun. And speaking of fun, my friends, I'm so glad I'm able to do this, share this hobby time with you, and I really thank you for spending that time hanging out with me and talking about our game, you know. So, all I really have to do now is get these guys on some bases, okay? Later on tonight, I might try to hit at least the bases with some green. If I don't, it's not a big deal. You know, next time around, I'll get them going. The important part is to get them on the official size bases, because my friend Jessie converted her 8th edition Bretonians to the new base size already, okay? So I got to make sure that I'm doing the same. Now, the last game, I just turned these guys upside down and just put them in there, right? Because they fit. But I want to get this, you know, legit where I don't have to worry about moving them around. And it gets me one step closer to my 1,000-point army just being complete. Because that's my goal, my friends, is to have a couple of 1,000-point armies. Okay, so we're going to be bringing 24 bowmen, okay? 24 bowmen with the unit champion, okay? That way I get an extra shot in my front line. There's no point in bringing a standard or a musician because these guys aren't going to get in combat, and I don't want to give away the points. Now also, too, this is where my shamans are going to be camping out. So what I'm doing, my friends, is these guys come with a slot, okay? So I'm just cutting off the little slot, and then just they got a wide enough base where I can just glue them on onto the new size base. Now I'm bringing 2 units of 12 for my bowmen. Now I might add a couple of more guys once I start figuring out the points, because these guys are pretty cheap. So right now we're talking like 80 points for that unit of 12. So I'll probably beef them up a little bit more, but I want to make sure I got my characters have some gear first. My last game, it was only my general who had the most gear. Everybody else had the, you know, minimal items or no items at all, you know. Okay. Now I can also bring a magic banner too. I might do that. I have the points this time around. I'm just using a regular nail file. Nothing special. Just want to get it where it's kind of flat. The nice thing is these guys have the robes. So they stand flat once I cut the little slot off. So it's going to make it nice. So I need a total of 24, okay? 24 of these guys. So we got 2, we got 4, we got 6. We got 2 units of 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, there's our first unit. Let's get those guys going. So basically what we're doing is we're just cutting the things off the bottom. The spearmen, I already have 12 guys on the new size bases. I just need another 10. And now the unit of spearmen, they'll have a full command, because they're actually going to see combat, and they're going to need everything they can get. You know, whatever advantage they get, they need it. Now I did pretty well so far in the combat. The infantry units hold up well against the cavalry, my friends. You know, it's not like the old game in 8th edition where you'll just get creamed and destroyed. You know, I love this new edition so far. I think it's the best. I played 6th, 7th, and 8th, okay? And in what I feel like, it's almost like they took the best stuff out of it and, you know, and made it into the game. I love it. Having to relearn everything is kind of a bummer, but, you know, it's okay. I'm glad it's been a long time in between the editions, because that way it's, you know, I'm not getting edition creep. Oh, I need to put that down and hit my other stuff. I'm going to have all these plastic bases I'm not going to be using. No, I still have painted armies in the old-fashioned black plastic Warhammer cases with the foam. Those are my 8th edition armies, and those guys, I'm not going to be converting them at all, okay? I mean, it can easily do that, but if I converted them, then I would never put together this pile of plastic I have. Now, my friends, now underneath this little table, this piece of masonite, is those 2 tubs of all my plastic. You know, so it's appropriate that I'm building them on those tubs. Eventually, those tubs will be empty. That would be great. That would be great. And then I'll need shells for finished models. That's a better dilemma. I'll pick up those pieces after a while. This is my man cave. It's okay. But I got to make sure I pick them up before I let my little dog in. I don't want him chewing on this stuff, you know. They'll be easy enough to find. It's all shooting this way. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow. So each game that we played, we looked at the book less and less, okay? Now the hardest thing to get down was the fanatics. So that's the one thing that my friend Jesse and myself have really been like hunkering and reading down on, is the fanatics and random movement and stupidity rules. So, because the trolls have stupidity. Okay, here we go. That's going to be our first unit of bowmen. This gets included at the base. Now, I have, oh geez, I'm at 667 points right now. So here's my options, okay? So, I can add a rock lobber for like 75 points, I believe, okay? Or I can add 3 stone trolls for 147 points, okay? Now, or I can add a giant for 200 points, okay? Now, I'm more inclined with going the route with the giant, okay? Because I'm dealing with knights on horses, my friend. Their armor save is just like, wow, you know? So, now when I'm hitting them with fanatics, and then I'm hitting them with the squid hoppers, it's actually the squids that are doing the damage. It's AP. It's the AP and the armor vein. That's what's helping, my friend. That's what's doing the job. That's all the heavy lifting for me. So I'm thinking about adding the giant, okay? Because he's pretty big, he's tough, he has a lot of wounds, you know, he's like, he can move independently, he can handle a big crowd. So that's really what I'm thinking about doing, you know. The trolls, now, I know my issue about the trolls is them having stupidity. Now, I imagine the giants is probably going to be no different. Let's find out. Okay. No, he doesn't have stupidity. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to take him. We're going to add him. Boom. Now, but here's my dilemma. Okay, so now, that puts me at 967, my friends. Okay, that's only, oh geez. That's only like, that's only 33 points, okay? So if I do that, then I don't really have magic items for these guys anymore, okay? So I already added the fanatics to all my units, okay, already? But I haven't given my 2 shamans and my war boss any gear. My general's all geared up. So what I might have to do is drop the giant and go with the trolls. Dude, the giant would be so cool. The look of terror on my friend's face would be awesome. But man, I don't know. I could always drop. Oh God, I don't know. I can always drop something, you know. I can always drop, I want to keep the 2 shamans because I need the magic. I'm going to be out magicked, okay? What I could do, though, I can do this, watch. So right now I have a level 2 and a level 1 wizard, okay? What I can do is, I can do this. I can take 2 level 1s, and that will save me 30 points. So now, I have 63 points to work with. Okay, that's a little more reasonable now. Okay, because dude, I want to take this giant so bad. I do. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It causes terror. It's immune to psychology. I mean, it has oh god, how many wounds? 6 wounds. Yeah, do 6 wounds. Strength 6, toughness 6. You know, leadership 10, which is cool because I can run him around by himself and it's not going to be any issues. You know, that's the thing about the trolls I was worried about is the trolls have that punch I need too, but they got stupidity and they're going to have to take a test every time. You know, every turn. This guy, no way. This guy's aching to break down the slopping on the knights, you know. And this, my friend, is the old school metal one. This was actually part of a collection that was gifted to me when the world blew up back in 8th edition. I had some friends like they quit. I had, oh god, what, 6,000 point orc army given to me? Now I still have that in the shed, my friends. I pulled the giant out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out any Night Goblin stuff that's like, you know, squid hoppers, cave squigs, trolls, giants, and any, you know, and probably any rock lobbers, stuff like that. And then the regular troops like the Night Goblins and the Orcs and stuff, I'll get rid of that, you know. I'll take it to the game store. Because, you know, that way I'll trade it in for store credit. But yeah, my friends, it was crazy. So, I had my friend call me. Said, yeah, Ern, I'm not going to be playing Warhammer anymore. Why don't you come over and pick up my Orcs and Goblins? You can have them. I was like, yeah. I was all jazzed, okay, all jazzed. A good friend of mine. So I'm thinking, here I am, I figure come over, we'll hang out, you know. We'll reminisce about games, you know, and he'll give me the army and all that good stuff. Nope, that wasn't the case, friends. My friend wasn't even home. This army was sitting by the trash can. Sitting by the trash can. Box of books, and an army in a nice case, and then a bunch of models in a cardboard box. Yeah, dude, by the trash can. Trash can. It broke their heart. It broke that army spirit. And it takes a lot to break an orc, my friends. Oh, God, yeah. No, it was very sad. That's how devastating it was to some players, my friend, when GW blew up Fantasy, okay? Now, I was the oldest person in my group, okay? I had maybe about 15 years on everybody, okay? And so, so a lot of my people a lot of my friends, not my people, my friends, a lot of my friends who I was playing with, you know, they started playing this game when they were kids, you know. So this was a big part of their childhood for them, a big part of their, you know, growing up. So when GW destroyed their fan base, stupid move, they got lucky and got it back with the old world, you know. Sheer luck, because fantasy's fun, you know. It's nice. It's classic. It's iconic, you know. It's legends that we need. Learn lessons from legends. But yeah. So the point is my friend was brokenhearted and left this, and it's all painted too. There's no gray plastic in that army brand. It was all painted, completely painted. Everything. All metal models, you know. This is that one they just reissued. Okay, but what my friend did was took green stuff and made that cool clothes. Okay, and this is the alternate head. Yeah, that's the Grenadier one, I believe. Yeah, that's old school, man, friend. Don't get any more old school than that one. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is, so the game store I go to, the indie one, WizKids, over in El Dorado. So they have a bunch of armies on the shelf you can play, right? So he buys armies and he just puts them on the shelf, and then people can play them. You know, they can come in, they look good, they're there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to trade them store credit for it, you know. Because if he gives me cash, I'm just going to buy stuff anyways. And that way, then the models live on, you know. But I'll cherry pick them, pick out some stuff I don't have. Any rare models, like characters probably, you know. But the basic troops, nah, I got tons of that over here already, you know. I got a battalion box in one of these tubs underneath I'm going to put together, you know. That's going to be my orc army. So basically, I'm working on 1,000-point armies, my friend. So right now, this is going to be my 1,000-point Night Goblin army. But what I'm going to do next is I have the old giant as well. This is the little giant, okay? So this is the little guy who's like way smaller than the giant, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this giant with my orcs and goblin, and I'm going to use this little guy with the Night Goblins, okay? Now here's the backstory on this guy. Now this is what I was doing during 8th edition, okay? I had to track down this model because in 8th edition this was already old already, okay? So I had to track this one down on eBay. You know, I got it on eBay. And you know, you have to gap the sides of green stuff, and I'm going to have to pin the arms on. It's pretty hefty. But the backstory on this giant was all the big regular giants used to pick on him and bully him and push him around because he was little. He was a little guy, you know, compared to a giant. And so now he came across these Night Goblins like, dude, look how big you are. Join our army. So he hangs out with the Night Goblins. So what I was thinking about doing was like smearing like I don't know, like green swamp mud or something. So I'm gonna have it where the giant's kind of making himself look green like a Night Goblin, you know. That's kind of the color scheme I'm gonna give him, you know. He'll have like the flesh color, and then he'll have like green mud or some slime on him. Maybe, you know, we'll figure out what I'll do, you know. But that's gonna be his little story, you know. He's the little giant. And then I also have the plastic giant as well. But that's basically going to be with my orcs and goblins. Because I'll be playing your traditional orcs and goblin army, and then the pure gobos, pure Night Goblins. Now the cool part about this is I can have this guy facing straight now. All right. These guys have a big enough base where they're going to sit really nice. And it's going to be easy to paint them because it's going to be the red bows. It's going to be the green face, green hands. You know, I'm going to give them red shoes. And then, or even just black ones. Who knows? But the Night Goblins are pretty fast, pretty easy to paint because of the black robes. And then I'm using the black primer. Now, I have to give it 2 coats of red, you know, to make it really bright. And then maybe 2 coats of yellow because the string I have in there's yellow. But that's okay. It's still less time than if I was painting all the bodies black, you know. If I use, if I use white primer. Now I bought a can of the green primer, or did I? No, I just got black and white. That's right. I'm going to paint the orcs in white primer, so they'll be nice and bright. There we go. Yeah, it's going to look good. And they line up pretty nice. But yeah. So now I have so now basically it's just going to be picking out the magic items for my characters. Now my general, I got the same build from the last game. So it's light armor shield, okay? And then I gave him the troll hide trousers, which is an amazing item, my friends. It's 40 points. You can wear it over regular armor. It bumps up my armor save thing by 1, okay? And then it gives me a regeneration save on top of that. It's pretty sweet. It's a great item. Now, I'm going to put my my war boss and my big boss in the same unit. So my spear guys are going to have the command and then 3 characters in the front. I mean 2 characters. Now the last game that I played with these guys, Um, okay, so I know I'm going to go first because of the blessing of the lady, okay? So if a Bretonian player lets the opponent go first, then he gets the blessing of the lady, okay? Which basically gives him a good save, gives him a save, a regen save. You know, I mean, they already got a great save already, and now they're getting a regen save on top of that. It's not much. I think it's a 5, but still, it's an extra save on top of their, you know, heavy armor, barding. It's crazy. You know, it's crazy. So, if they let you go first, they get the blessing. Now, here's the caveat, my friend, is they have to accept a challenge, okay? So if you issue a challenge to the general and the general doesn't take it, they lose the blessing of the lady. Bam! Right then and there. Boom! There goes that army-wide. And the thing is, it's army-wide, okay? It's army-wide. Or is it just the knights? But I don't know. It's still a big deal. So that's what happened last game. I issued the challenge with my my Night Goblin boss. The Bretonian on the horse had the way better initiative, went first, you know, did a wound to me, and then I killed him. It was awesome. It was a wonderful feeling. I lost the game though because, okay, so what my plan was is I started off the game in the marching formation so I could rush ahead right away and jettison my fanatics into his army, okay? But I did not take account on how fast the Bretonians were going to be, okay? So this time around, I got to start off in just regular formation is what I got to do. Now, in the last game, I shot 2 fanatics through his unit of knights and decimated them. Pretty much all he had left was his BSB and his general. You know, that whole unit of knights disintegrated. But I got lucky. I got lucky, and I rolled like double 6s. You know, I was rolling good that game. I was rolling good. Yep, I sure was. My little dog's barking, but I'm just going to ignore him. I got a little chihuahua. He's a cutie. Now, normally when I'm doing my video game stuff, he comes and sits in my lap, you know, but he can't do that today. Poor little guy. All right. But yeah. So now it's just picking the items, okay? So what I got to do is I got to give myself some good items, okay? Now, once I get this unit down, we'll work on the list really quick. So I'm going to be bringing a Dispel Scroll for sure. That's a given, okay? And then I don't know and then there's some other items, you know. But I got to bring stuff that's going to nullify my opponent's magic. I'm going to focus on my signature spell, which is Itchy Nuisance, which is really great because it lowers the strength and toughness of my opponent. It's really it's a great spell. And since it's my signature spell, I can just drop my rolled spell and just take it, you know. I'm all about the hexes and buffs, my friend. That's my playing style, okay? You know, it's better to do that than to try to do the death spell. That, you know, because if you can help a whole unit, that's overall going to be better from your game, you know. Better for your army. It's just better overall. And also, too, your opponent is least likely to try to dispel a buff or a hex, you know, if they think you got some kind of big death spell, you know. But also, too, what's nice also is the hexes and buff spells are cheaper and easier to cast, okay? So I'll have 2 shamans, and then and so what's nice is I park my shamans in the unit with my bowmen, okay? So that way, that's my you know, that's my aerial attacks, magic, and so what I do is basically I hex my targets. It worked out pretty well. Now the problem I'm gonna have is the Bretonian bowmen. They got like a 12-inch reach over me. Okay, so I have short bows and they have long bows, so they can shoot. They can shoot quite a distance more. It's a big, yeah, it's like 12 inches more as a 6. It's still big. Because I can only shoot 18. And I can shoot, what, 24? Yeah, yeah. But I have stand and shoot, and he doesn't. So that helps. Now this time around, I'm taking Fanatics in my unit of bowmen. Because see, the reason why I conceded last game is because since I lost combat, because I was in the marching formation, and I wasn't able to count my ranks. All I had was the wounds caused, and so and the BSB was fighting the unit, okay, while the generals were in a clash. So the thing about it is now if I would have had my full ranks, I would have won that combat. But because I didn't, I actually lost. Even though I killed the general, I still lost. Okay, and the leadership on the Night Goblins is pretty low, my friends. I failed and I ran off the table. He chased me, bam, and all I had left was my 2 unit of bowmen with a wizard each. Okay, and he had there was nothing I can do. Now this time around, I got fanatics. I got 1 fanatic in each unit of bowmen. So that way, whenever he's going to throw at me, I can shoot a fanatic at it, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I was hoping to add a couple of more bowmen, so I'm going to have to go kind of stingy on the magic items. And then, because I would love to add a couple extra bowmen. Because I get the rows, The first row is full, and then every row after that's half. So right now, I got 12, 2 rows of 6. So that's going to be 6, 7 shots in the front, and then 3 in the back. Total of 10 shots. Now, if I can add 2 more guys, then I can go 7 and 7, okay? Then I would still get 3 shots in the back, but at least I would get the extra shot in the front. I don't think you round up. I think you round down. Set my shamans. That way they have they can absorb the points. The shamans running around on their own is too much of a target. And the damsel is just a better caliber wizard than I am. I'm a Night Goblin. And the damsel just has more lores to choose from, better magic. That's all right, because I'm going to rock it and have a lot of fun. Okay, there you go. There's our first unit. Okay, there's our first unit of 12. Nice. Okay, let's go back to, hold on, let me go back to the points view. Okay, so 937, all right? So we got our general all hooked up. So what we should do, God, I should make that guy my BSB. Hold on. Okay, so I would love to bring a magic banner in. I could make that guy my BSB for 25 points. That would really help in the combat. Hold on. I don't know. Is that just like another thing to give away in case I lose points? I should just go for the combat, Now what I could give him, hold on, is let's give him a magic weapon. Okay, so I can give him the Sword of Swiftness, which would give him the faster initiative. Okay, I could give him. Now I already gave. I already got my general has the biting blade. Okay, so I can't duplicate that item. Now the Sword of Striking, the Burning Blade, the Sword of Might. Those are common items. I can have more than one. Now the Sword of Might would be kind of nice because that would totally give me a stronger attack, you know, especially if I'm dealing with higher armor. Okay, now I'll give him light armor. Okay, so right now he's coming at 58 points, and then I should give him some kind of magical armor. Well, first we got to go back to our wizards and give everybody like one thing each, and then go around another round, okay? Because now I only got 40 points, my friend. I only got 40 points left, okay? So let's go to our shamans now, okay? So we're going to go to our shamans, and we're going to give this guy a... Oh, jeez. It is just, we're going to give him a Dispel Scroll, okay? Bam. Now the Dispel Scroll is a common item, and I can have more than one, which I'm going to do. Okay, let's go back to my other guy. Okay. Oh, God. Now I only got 20 points left, my friends. 20 points. This is it. Yep. That's going to be it. That's going to be it. Bam. Now, what I could do is I can give him Arcane Familiar, okay? Now, what that would do is give me 2 spells I can cast. I'm still a level 1. I could still cast only 1 spell per turn, but I would be able to have 2 spells to choose from. So one turn I can cast this spell, the next turn I can cast that spell. It would give me 5 points to add a guy to a unit. I don't know, my friends, it's tough. It's tough. Now if I... Oh, God. What's the potion of foolhardiness? Let's see what that is. Hold on. Hold on, wait. Let's take that off. That's my wizard. He doesn't need that. Yeah. So we gave him Arcane Familiar, okay? So now, I got 5 points to work with, okay? So what I could do for 5 points, I can add an extra bowman. You know what I'm going to do? Hold on, wait a minute. Is Arcane Familiar an item that's like a common one? Hold on. Let's take a look and see. Nope, I can only have 1 per army, I guess. It doesn't have the little asterisk next to it. Okay, never mind. I can add an extra bowman to 1 unit. God, the points go so fast. All right, hold on. Oh, where's he at? Okay, 13. 999 points. 999 points, my friends. Okay, our list is done. So, we're going to have a unit of 12 bowmen with a unit champion. we're going to have a unit of 13 bowmen with a unit champion. Basically, that's an extra shot from that guy. He gets to shoot twice. Then we're going to have 2 units of 5 squid hoppers. We're going to have 22 Night Goblins with spears, full command. We're going to have a giant. Okay, the spears are going to have 2 fanatics. The bowmen are going to have one fanatic each. 4 characters, 2 shamans, 2 combat characters. How are we doing for time, my friends? Hey, 40 minutes. We're doing pretty good. Not too bad. Yeah, I just want to get these guys on their bases. I got to get the fine cast guys on bases too. I definitely want to get my older models onto the table. Okay, hold on. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay, there we go. There's our other unit, friends. Yeah. Now, the squid hoppers themselves didn't break. It's just a little tab. Okay, so they're basically, some of them are like flat, and the ones that are jumping are on like a little pole. And that's what broke, okay? And I had like, I think 2 or 3 of them break in the game. But it's no problem, because I planned on cutting those anyways and using like a, either like a paper clip or a thin wire, like a stiff one. So that's what that way they would look like they're floating in the air. Be more stable, more secure. So I'll be doing that as well. But pretty much, this is going to be my 1,000-point force. This will be the standard I bring now on this one. And then I was already talking to my friend Jesse about bringing in my BC. So I got to get my, she's going to let me borrow a brand new horse base so I can make a template and make some bases. I got a bunch of Black Knights and stuff already on the old size bases, so I don't know, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how much the new horse bases are. So now all I have to do now, my friends, is pretty much get this painted. I want to have fully painted 1,000-point forces. Now this one's not going to be too hard because it's, you know, I've already started on it, all right? This giant's already painted. When I get my other giant going, it's going to be, you know, it's going to be fun. Now I did find my pin drill, which I'm very happy about. So now I just need to go to the hobby store and get the metal rods. And so I bought a lot of my stuff in the terrain department. Now I went to Hobby Lobby not too long ago, and they still have a lot of the same supplies for like the terrain building, the little metal rods and stuff, so I'll be able to get that. Now they didn't have a good selection of paint at all. So all the paints they had were kind of geared toward car models, okay? All glossy, everything was glossy. You know, it's what it was. Like for car, they had a lot of car models, spaceship models, but you know, all the paints were kind of geared toward that. Nothing flat, everything was gloss. And they didn't have any primer at all, you know, everything was all glossy. Now when I go to the game store tomorrow, I'm going to pick up a couple of paints. You know, so I'll pick up a regular yellow, it's not contrast. And then I'll pick up just a few things. I don't need a lot of pots of paint. See, back in the past, I used to get all crazy and buy like, you know, a big selection. You know, it's like a mixed colors and stuff. But no, I'm not going to do that because down here I got a bag of paints I have to go through that most of them I'm going to be tossing in the trash. I've already started going through some, and they're all dried up. But I don't want to get all crazy, so I'm just going to buy what I need, you know. Now, the Blood Knights, I'm going to do them in red, okay? So I'll be able to use the same red for the Night Goblins for the vampire counts. So for the Night Goblins, I just have to paint the spears and the bows red. And then I have to paint the squid hoppers. Now those guys I can paint different colors, okay? They don't all have to be red. In the old days, they used to be multicolored, okay? So I might do that. I might have a couple, but mostly reds and oranges. It'll look nice. It'll be nice. So I'll have to get more red. And then for the vampire counts, it won't be that bad because it's going to be just like mostly just armor. You know, I'll need white paint. I'll need bone. You know, and then red for the dire wolves. I'll need a brown for the fur. For the ghouls, I'm going to need like a flesh color. You know, so it'll be easy. I won't have to buy a lot, you know. The same metallic I use for the tip of the spears, I can use for the grave guard and the skeletons. So I just got to be smart about my shopping this time around. I will do a video about the paints. Now, the reason why I'm talking about the paints is I have a couple of tubs, a couple of bottles of paints that I bought when I first started playing Warhammer in 6th edition, okay? So this is some stuff from the 90s, okay? And it's still good. It's a different type bottle. It's a different company. It's crazy, my friends. It's still good paint, and it's over 20 years old. But most of the stuff I bought during 8th edition is garbage. It's going to be trash. And that's just a lot of wasted cash. So now I got to be smart. I got to be smart about my impulses, you know. Buy what I need when I need it, you know. So I already know the color schemes and stuff I need, so it won't be too bad. Now the regular orcs, now those guys would be easy because they're going to be like in earth tones, you know. They'll be like brown for the leather, you know, just green. I'll use the same green I use on the Night Goblins, you know. So I already have a layer green and a contrast green still, okay? So I'm good for that. I'm good for green. And then I'll probably need to buy more red. With some different shades, you know, for the Blood Knights. But yeah, it's not going to be too bad. Thanks again for watching, my friends. Thank you. Thank you for spending your valuable time. I really appreciate it. You know, thank you for reviewing my video again. Hellstrom Wargaming, oldworldbuilder.com. Now, they take donations, but it's in euros. I imagine if you're here in the States, you could probably transfer it. I'm going to try later on and see if I can, you know, throw a couple of bucks, you know. They mentioned coffee, so that might be the US one they can do. So I'll throw a couple of bones that guy's way, you know. It's open source. It's all volunteer. It's all donation. They don't ask for money, okay? If you want to donate, it's because you want to. They're not because they're asking you, okay? It keeps them out of trouble that way. Now, I'm not sure if GW has their own official Warhammer builder. I didn't check and see, you know. I didn't check and see. Okay, hold on here. Oh, God, you can hear the pipes. Those are loud. There you go. But yep. I'll probably give these guys a quick hit of paint. What I'll do is at least focus on the faces and hands, but if I don't, it's okay. The big part about it is I want to stop using my 8th edition ones and get these guys on the faces and get them going. Because once I get this unit, once I get this army painted, then I'll start focusing on getting the vampire counts primed and painted, and then we'll start working on our next armies, you know. So I'm going to do a Night Goblin army. I'm sorry, no. I'm going to do an Orc and Goblin army. Oh, God, sorry. Yeah. And then we're going to start getting into 40K, my friends. Going to start. Now, the thing about the 40K is a lot of my guys are already painted. I think I have like 50 boys already painted already, or like almost 50. So I got a good start, okay? So I basically have like 100 boys. I was going to try to go with the Green Tide list, okay? I don't have any books for the Warhammer 40K yet. The Orc book just dropped not too long ago. I'll pick that up soon. But right now, I want to wait until I get at least 2 Old World armies painted and playable before I start trying to, bite off more than I can chew. See, that was the problem I had last time. Is, I go through these boxes and I found so many half-started projects, okay? So now I want to make sure that I get stuff done before I get on to the next step. But 40K is going to be a thing. I was always anxious to play it. And the fact that the rules are free, you only got to buy the army book it's going to be kind of nice. There we go. And there's a big community of 40K players at the game store, So I shouldn't have any trouble finding games. I just got to find somebody who's cool with playing a newbie and have some mercy on me, okay? Because that was the trouble I had when I was being taught 40K. See, I've only played one game of 40K, okay? I didn't learn nothing. I got curve stomped, okay? The person who showed me how to play taught me how to lose. That was the lesson I got. That's okay. Our fellow friends gave the person, gave them a little crap for doing it. It's all right, People love to win. But pretty much it was short-lived anyways because that game store closed. Now, since I've been living here in Santa Fe, I've already seen. I've seen 3 game stores come and go, okay? And for a while we had nothing. We had a dry spell where we had nothing. Now most of our games were in private homes because my friends like to drink beer, okay? And they can't do that at the game store, And it's just nice to play at home. Now I would play games at the game store because my best friend Jesse used to work at a game store called Gameco. And so I would go and play and hang out there with my friend. And we play games, We play little lunch hammer games. So basically little like 500-point games that my friend can play. And then once customers came in, she can stop and go do her thing. And I just kind of wait around, talk to people, and then we get going again. So we used to play a lot of small 500-point games, And with the Night Goblins, it was kind of nice. Because in 500-point games, I pretty much had like a little real army all the time, I've always been fond of the Night Goblins. I remember one time, oh God, this is back in 7th edition, back when the Skull Pass set dropped, Oh, the one behind me here. Yeah. So I remember when that dropped, I was going to the game store, and it was my friend Jesse wasn't working there anymore. And they had a different person working there, and I was going to buy some stuff, and we were talking about armies, and then the person at the store asked me what army I like to play. I said, I play Night Goblins, and that person goes, what, you don't like to win? Because back then, they weren't a winning army, okay? 7th edition, oh God, no. They were a wacky army, okay? Now, 8th edition, when they brought in the Horde rule, that's when I started winning games with my Night Goblins. Okay, so back in 6th and 7th, I used to win games with my BC, okay? That's the games when I actually did win, it was vampire counts. Night Goblins was for the fun of it, because it was wacky, my friends. They had animosity, more often than not, the fanatics hit you. I mean, they were a fun army. It was just fun. It was the fun wackiness of it. You know, I love the little story. I love the little characters. But 8th edition, I won a lot of games with these guys. But, oh God, but I brought a unit of 100. So I used to have a unit of I made a special base out of balsa wood that would hold 100 guys. I'll show it to you. I think I broke it out in a video before. And yeah, so I would break up that balsa wood 10 rolls of 10. And I would just, and the reason why I had that giant horde, because I used to play against a lot of shooty armies, okay? There was a Empire player and a Dwarf player. So I used to get shot to bits, you know. So when I brought in the horde of 100, by the time I got to the combat line and got into combat, I had like 50 guys. I would lose like half my dudes to shooting. But because of the horde, and you know, it was awesome. I loved it. I know a lot of people hated the horde rule, but I loved it because it gave my armies a chance to win. Now I never hoarded up like crazy, like powerful units. I only used it for core. Only my, you know, because for my playing style, I used to bring a lot of core units. I used to like my army to look like armies, okay? Now, I never really won a lot of games because of that, but I would mostly core, you know, especially with the BC, you know, because you had so many great core options. You know, I would only have like one unit of a Grave Guard, you know, but, you know, now when I used to come in with like 50 skeletons, minimum, okay? Minimum. So I used to come in with these giant units, okay? So what I used to love to do, I would have a vampire in a unit of 50 skeletons, okay? Hand, weapon, shield, spears, you know. No, spears. It was spears. And then, okay, I need 10 more guys, okay? So we need 10 more guys. So look, we need our command. And then we need 10 guys. I got them all right here like a cooking show. Okay, yeah. So what I used to do was, I would come in with a crazy huge unit, and they would not be in a horde formation. They would be in a regular like combat formation. So we're talking like 5 wide and 8 deep, okay? And so, yeah. And oh God, that's back when, you know, and so, and what I would like to do is so I would be fighting with you in combat, and then I would raise a unit of zombies right behind you. Bam! Okay? And so it'd be like 5. And then the next turn, it'd be 20. Ooh, they would just grow. And now the thing about that was, is if I beat you in combat, and you had to run through the zombies, you'd be destroyed. And so basically, it was the vampire doing all the heavy lifting, doing all the killing, and the skeletons were just there for the combat res, my friend. And I used to, oh, that was my main tactic. So as soon as I started raising zombies behind those people's units, man, they were on it. They were on it. You know, they wouldn't let me raise zombies at all, okay? Because it was devastating to them, because I would always destroy their units, you know? And we're talking like their main combat unit, you know? Because the fact that once my general was dead, my army turned to dust. So whatever unit my general was in, that unit saw combat. But my vampire, you know, I would bring in, you know, we would play like 5,000 point games, 3,000 point games. So we used to, you know, we used to rock it, you know, hero hammer, the whole 9 yards, you know, charged up characters to the max, you know. And a lot of the people I used to play with were, you know, power gamers, you know. And so I used to, you know, oh God, I used to play against this one guy. First game I actually won. And every game, it was a giant and a dragon. Chaos player. And yeah, giant and a dragon in the same army every time, my friend. Every time. You can count on it. And it used to be hard. But my ghouls, my friend, ghouls. That's how I I tackled them, you know. Sent the ghouls after them, poisoned the attacks. Bam, that giant fell. Bam, you know. Once I took out one of those big obstacles, then it wasn't too hard to handle the other. So that's what I'm hoping to do with my ghouls now. Poison's awesome. Roll those 6, automatic wound. Bam, poison. But those guys only got, you know, well, now they got a regen save. Before, they had no save at all. So they're actually kind of better. I can't raise them like I used to, you know. But that's okay. I love the changes they made to the game. So all I have to do now after this is just basically take my characters, put them on the bigger bases, and then finish assembling my squid hoppers, okay? So that's all I have left to do. I'll finish gluing those guys probably after my stream tonight. Because tonight I'm doing one of my video game streams. So, my friends, I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. But I do like cozy games, okay? Animal Crossing, Disney Dreamlight Valley. I know it's kind of weird. I kind of fell into it. It's just kind of weird, you know. I used to be a huge Diablo player, okay? This is the first time I played games where you don't kill stuff, you know, in the last couple of years, in the last 2. It's been fun, dude. I've been loving it. It's been a whole different world. I used to play Wolfenstein and, you know, dungeon crawlers and, you know, and I got into Animal Crossing and changed my world, you know. It's been so fun. So, but I'm super excited that, you know, I can do the Warhammer thing on my channel. And thank you, my friends, because you guys shot me to 1,000 subscribers and got it to a point where I can be monetized. Because, you know, and I'm not disparaging my video friends, because they got me to the 800s almost, you know. And thank you, you know. And I love all my friends who watch me. And I try to make content for everybody, you know. And it's a little tough. That's why I'm only doing 2 Warhammer things a week, you know. Because I can barely do that, my friends. I'm not going to lie. It's tough to keep up. But I love doing it. Now, I have permission from the game store owner to be able to film our games, which we're going to do. But what I wanted to do, my friends, is I wanted to wait until my armies were fully painted and that we had a grasp of the rules. Because right now when we play, we spend about a good portion of the time looking at the rules, you know, and that's not fun to watch. So I'm thinking a couple of more games under our belt, and then we'll start recording the games, you know. I have the okay. I got the green light. Now, the man that owns the game store is a nice gentleman. Really nice guy. And I wish him success. They've been there for a bit now, so they're going to be okay. He actually has a game store where the rent's reasonable. Now, the thing about it is, Santa Fe, New Mexico is a tourist town, okay? So all the rent here is really high, okay? That's why game stores haven't flourished. Now, right now is kind of trippy, because right now we actually have 2 game stores downtown, okay? Now, but they're more like Magic and board games, okay? So mostly Magic, you know, but still, it's gaming stores we didn't have before, and they have nights where they're playing, you know, they don't have any Warhammer stuff going on. It's all Magic, the Gathering, it's all, you know, it's other games, you know, other board games. Mostly collectible cards. But I love the fact that, you know, gaming's at a all-time high. This is the best time to be a nerd, my friends. When I started playing D&D in 81, okay? So, you know, high school. I've always been a nerd. But back then, you used to get tortured for it. It wasn't cool like it is now, you know. I mean, coolish. I don't know. But, oh God, it's so accepted. Now, back when I was in high school, they made a movie about Dungeons and Dragons where they were pushing the satanic angle and somebody got killed. And that killed D&D, the image of it, for a while, my friend. It gave it a bad stereotype, you know. Because it got painted as satanistic when it really wasn't, you know. But it was just like, you know, people bought into the hype. It was different. It was new. It's just pretending with dice, you know. But people don't even know that at all, you know. Okay, my friends. Hey, we're on an hour, okay? We're doing pretty good. Doing pretty good so far. We got our list done. I'm gonna have everything on the bases. I still got to put together these Night Goblin guys, but I'm almost done with them. You know, I got most of the work done. I'm halfway there. Now, I'm kind of tempted to even just pull up my Finecast guys and getting those guys rolling. We'll see what's going to take the least amount of time. My best friend's going to pick me up at 12 noon tomorrow. We're going to start playing early. It's going to be fun. We didn't get to play games last week because I had a bunch of doctor appointments, you know. So it's going to be nice. You know, when you get to be my age, doctor appointments are a thing all the time, you know. But they were all good news. I had a lot. It was pretty scary. I've been having issues with my heart, okay? And I've been passing out at work. I just faint. I just pass out. My body just goes boop, and I just drop, my friends. It's already happened 3 times, you know. And so they're trying to figure out what the problem is. And so what the problem is I got an enlarged ventricle, okay? I got an enlarged ventricle, and I got a valve that doesn't close all the way. There's nothing they can do. Nope. Nothing they can do, my friends. So I got to change my life. I've been a workaholic all my life, okay? This is the first time in my life where I've not been like a member of management, okay? Now, I used to be the garden manager. I used to work 80-hour weeks. And guess what? I had to step down. I almost had a heart attack, okay? So, yeah. So it's going to be hard for me. I'm like the Energizer Bunny, my friends. I'm super hyper. But now, it's hard now. Because I have the will to be hyper, but my body is, I sit down a lot now, you know. And so this is why it's really good that the Warhammer thing's coming back, so I can get these guys put together, you know. But, you know, it was all good news. A bittersweet news, you know. At least there's not more stuff wrong with me, you know. I got super bad blood pressure. It's really low, okay? And that's the problem. But it's all good because I'm alive. And I have life because, you know, I died already. When I was 42 years old, I flatlined. The only reason I'm still alive is because I was in the ER, okay? My heart was beating 169 minutes when it stopped. That's why I'm having problems now. This is damage from back then, you know, manifesting. So yeah. That's why I'm so positive, my friends. So I used to be a very serious, grouchy man, you know. I was all business, you know. I've always been a manager, you know. They used to send me to the broken stores, and I would get them running again, and I would tell them who to keep and who to fire, and get them, you know. It was a hard job, you know. No surprise I had a heart attack. Money was good, didn't save any of it. But me and my wife had a good life. We did things, you know. Bought stuff that we're trying to get rid of now. I don't know. We got so many books and this and that, you know. It's just how life is. But yeah, that's why I'm positive. Because I got a second chance at life. And that's why I'm happy about the old world. Because it's like a second chance on gaming. Dude, I'm all about second chances. I'm all about the second chances. That's what I do. I give people second chances. I don't like to give up on things, you know, because the universe didn't give up on me. Now I'm putting these guys kind of far back so they have a lot of room in the front, so I can put some kind of like, you know, bits in the front. I got like a lot of mushrooms. The thing about it is I have all these bits I've had around for a while, but I never can use them because there's like no room on these 20 by 20 bases, you know. So now I have all this stuff I've been hoarding for a while. I'm all about the bits, my friend. About the bits and customizing your own models, my weapon swaps. Now once I start doing the BC, I'll start making a lot of spirit host. I need to get some Bretonian models. Okay, so this is what I used to do before. So I got a bunch of different spirit hosts, okay? I got some lizardmen. So what it is when I'm playing you, my spirit hosts are your army. It messes with the people's heads. It's like your fallen comrades are fighting against you now. So, but it's easy because all I really need is just like a couple of models. I don't need, I have some, so it's kind of cool. I want to do that with Bretonians. So I'll get some Bretonian bits, and then once I start playing, okay, so I know there's a dwarf player, I know there's an orc player, so I'll start seeing who's playing the old world, and I'll start making spirit host to accommodate, It's just one of those fun things that make the game fun. Oh God, I did that with an Empire player and he got all mad. Oh God, he did not take it good. And the good thing about it is since he was all angry, he was making rash judgments. It was all, and, it was always a hey. I was playing. Not only was I playing on the battlefield, I was playing in our minds. Now that's what I used to do with my BC when I would bring in my giant unit of 100. So I had that empty base that would hold 100 models, right? So what I would do is I would throw 50 zombies in there and then throw it on the table. Now these guys were all freaked out because they thought I was going to blast it to 100, and I never would. And so they were all holding their magic so I wouldn't, raise up those zombies, but they weren't. It was all a dupe. It was all a mind game, I was bringing back other stuff, healing other stuff, I remember when I first started playing Warhammer, I had somebody tell me to read the book, The Art of War. It was a weird thing to have them say, but I did, Dude, the people I used to play with were gung-ho. They were hardcore. I used to play against some hardcore people. Hardcore, that would be like, they had to destroy you. They couldn't beat you. They had to destroy you. They had to, wipe you off the table. Oh, dude, I used to play against some hardcore people. And then, of course, we're playing at our homes. We're drinking beer. People are buzzed. It got pretty hardcore, my friends. It was still fun. But it got hardcore. So it's going to be different playing in the stores. I don't drink anymore either, so it's not a biggie, I stopped drinking when I had my heart attack, so I don't drink. I don't mind if people drink around me. That doesn't bother me one bit. It isn't like I quit drinking because, but it doesn't bother me. Unless you're acting stupid, then it bothers me, We're making some great progress, friends. I'll give a little update about the game. We'll talk about it in my next building stream when I'm doing some painting. So hopefully the next video we make with the Night Goblin army will be just strictly painting. Because I'll pick up some paints tomorrow. And then, because pretty much this is it. This is my 1,000-point list I'll be playing. This is going to be it. And so now, once I get this army completely painted, then we're going to move on to my next 1,000-point army. Because what my friend and myself agreed on is playing in increments, okay? So we're going to play in increments. We want to get this down. We're really enjoying the fact that we can break out our old models, because my friend, I have more unassembled models than she does. But I'm okay with that. It's been really nice to build them. Now, she has a bunch of the old Kislev models that are metal that she was going to sell. I said, oh, hang on to those. I said, you break those guys out and make them part of your, Bretonian allies, They're gorgeous models. Now, she did get rid of some models at the game store. Trebuchet in a box, sealed. Now, the game store owner gave us some fair prices for this stuff, too. But yeah, that was a sealed trebuchet. But my friend already has one already, So, now for me, I have 3 rock lobbers, okay? So I have 2 that I was in the process of painting. And I still have one in a box that I never assembled yet, you know. Now, you might be wondering why I have so many models, because I have an addictive personality, and I'm like a crow, and I love the shiny, you know. And that's what GW runs their business on, you know, the FOMO, you know, and all that stuff. But I am lucky enough where I get to use this stuff again. Second chance. So that's why I'm going to 1,000 points. So I've painted 1,000 points, and then we'll do the vampires, then we'll do the orcs and goblins. I got dwarves, wood elves underneath here, okay? Now, the dwarves, I'm thinking about, oh no, the dwarves, I have 2 dwarven armies, okay? Now I have the plastic ones and some metal ones from the Skull Pass set. And then I have an all Slayer army, okay? So what the deal, how I got this stuff is there was a guy in our gaming group who had a girlfriend, brand new girlfriend, that didn't like him playing the Warhammer, okay? So he was selling his army. Everybody tried to talk him out of it, say, don't sell the army, you know, if the girl loves you, she'll let you do your hobby, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, he sold his army, and they broke up, you know. And then he had no army, and he was trying to get back into Warhammer. He was all upset because he didn't have his models, you know. I bought them. You know, I gave him a fair price for him. I didn't take advantage of the situation and cheat him out of the money, you know. More than likely, you probably bought her a present with that cash. I wouldn't be surprised. Never give up your hobbies. You know, if that person doesn't love your hobby, then she doesn't love who you are, you know. I don't know. It's sad, but, you know. So I'm thinking about getting rid of the regular dwarves and just keeping the Slayers only. Because I can just do a little 1,000-point army. You know, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I only have a little bit of the Wood Elves. Because, see, when I got the Wood Elves, I bought them, you know, when 8th edition blew up, I got a lot of stuff for cheap, my friends. I bought a lot of BC stuff on eBay for like pennies on the dollar, okay? And then the Wood Elf army, you know, it's not big. It's maybe 2,000 points max. It's half built. Some of it's, you know, it's a lot of the old 6th edition, 7th edition metal models. It's gorgeous. And my friend said I should keep that and paint it in fall colors. It'll be a pretty army. Now, originally, I bought that for my wife for Age of Sigmar because I was going to make her an all-lady force, you know. I've always been trying to get my wife into the hobbies I play. Now, I got her into Dungeons & Dragons. We play Zombicide together. Now, I made the mistake of showing her the rule book back in the 8th edition days before I showed her how cool the armies are. Now, she's showing interest in 40K. Astramatilium, you know. The guard, you know. So that's probably what's going to happen with that. Okay, friends. So let's do this. We got to get these characters glued down, and then we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done. Okay, I need a... okay, we're going to take this guy right here. This is my... Now, after I get these guys on their bases, I'm ready to paint. Other than the squid hoppers, okay? You know, so... I'm still torn. I want to do those guys. I still have a lot of building. I think what I'll probably do is just probably get the Fine Cast guys going and get those guys ready for the game. It'll be less work. Even though these are cooler models, I know I don't have enough time. Hold you on time anyways. It's 5:11, my friends. I gotta stop here in a tiny bit. I gotta give myself a little quick snack and then get ready for my stream. Today I'm doing the Disney game, you know. It's like I got my foot in 2 worlds. It's really fun. So our next video will be me painting these guys. I'll be buying the paints I need tomorrow. Now, the game store mentioned in the Discord that paints are in stock. He posted a picture of a full paint rack. So that's pretty awesome. I'm very excited about it. Now, I'm not going to get anything for 40K yet. I'm not going to buy paints for that until I start out. Now, what I'm going to do is, I used to airbrush, okay? And now the cool part about this room is this is the little spare room, and it has an exhaust fan in it. It's loud. But this would be a perfect room to airbrush in. So once I start doing the 40K, I'm going to start breaking out the airbrush, because that's going to be perfect for the vehicles, the robots, you know. Stuff you don't really want to have brush strokes on, you know. I'm just using the characters from the Skull Pass set. What I'll do is I'll just paint the little guys different colors to differentiate which wizard it is. This is the guy who has like the little doll on the stick. Like a little skull and a little robe. It's pretty neat. This is the guy that has the squid. This was the general from the Black Pass set there, but you know, he'll just be my regular war boss. Oops. Dang it. There it goes. Now, fortunately, the fanatics are pretty much ready to go. And then now I can just start focus on painting these guys now. That's going to be the nice part about it. And that's fun too. So usually what I do is, for painting, I'll just paint when me and my wife are watching like Amazon Prime or something. I got that cool little laptop, so sometimes I'll take that and, you know, we're sitting in bed before we go to sleep. I'll work on a couple of guys too. That's what I used to do, you know, but once I get the new paints, we'll get it all set up. Okay, that looks good. So now I have my, other than the exception of the 10 squid hoppers, everything's on official size bases now. That's the nice part about it. Okay, friends, we're about ready to wrap this up. I want to thank you so much for spending the time with me here. You know, because I can count the people on one hand I can talk to Warhammer about, you know. And one of those people who gets kind of bored with it still, you know. It's my best friend Jesse who I talk with about, you know. We talk on the phone at least twice a week about Warhammer. She'll send me a text, a link, you know. I'll talk about a video I've seen. I'll send her a link. It's fun. I wish I had more people in real life to share this hobby with, but I got you, my friends. And you got me. You can count on me. I'm here. I'm here for the long haul. I'm serious about this YouTube channel. Tomorrow, my friends, is my 2-year anniversary. Tomorrow, on the 23rd, I've been at it for 2 years. This is my retirement job, my friends. I love doing this. I used to be in a band. I used to be a lead singer in a band. 3 different bands I was in. So I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. You know, I used to be a salesman. You know, like for picture framing, you come in and I'll spend like an hour with you, and I have you, you know, you would walk out spending $400 on your $30 poster by the time I was done with you. I'm good at what I do. If I was a D&D character, I would have a 21 charisma. Yeah. Thank you, my friends. I really appreciate you guys coming back and watching. I appreciate the fact you guys leave comments and leave likes. Thank you so much, my friends. I never expected the Warhammer to be part of my channel. You know, strictly video games. It wasn't until I made a video of what I had in my closet that's already at like almost 1,400 views already. Crazy, you know. And so, and it's just like, yeah, I'm adding this to the channel. And I'm glad I did, because it shot me to the next level. And it allows me, but the great part about this is I can't be lazy now. I have to work on my armies, my friend, because of you guys. Thank you. It's a motivating force. I got to have something to do when I can't do that. I just can't sit here and talk to you. I got to have something to do. And I have so far, thank God. Thank God I've had no, and I got so much plastic, my friend. I got terrain to build, And so we got a lot of stuff to build together. A lot of stuff to build and paint. And then I'm going to make a couple of videos where I break out some of my other GW games, my friend. I got some other GW games that, that need to be put together and paint as well. And so I'll be doing that down the road, Once I get my old world, okay, once I get a couple of 1,000-point armies table ready and ready to play, then I'll start bringing in some other GW content. I have the Warhammer Quest. I have Hero Quest Advance. I have some other GW stuff. Board game stuff I bought. I would love to share that with you guys. Well, like all good things, this must come to an end, my friends. It's already been 1 hour and 25 minutes. And it's already like 5:17. We got to wrap it up. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. This means a lot, okay? House Strong Wargaming, thank you, dude. You helped me. You shot my video up way high, and I know you brought me some. You brought some eyes to me. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you to whoever sent my video to your Discord. Thank you. Okay, we gotta go, friends. You guys have a great day. We'll see you in a couple of days when I make another video, okay? And then basically our next video together will be painting the Night Goblins or putting together the vampire counts. One of the two, okay? Probably the Night Goblins so I could talk about my game. Okay, friends, gotta go. Thank you so much. Have a great day.